And welcome back to Flexible Games, where we are playing FortressCraft Evolved Frozen Factory. Well, we have killed 2 cryo spawners, and we're kind of in the later stages of the game, where we can just start gathering resources and building if we want. One of the things that I did is I doubled the amount of resin refining that we're doing. So I've got another 10 refiners because we automated the resin farm. Oh snap. Don't go in there. Okay, jetpack. Calmly fall. So this is working great, actually. This thing just runs, and when it gets a little bit, when it kind of drills out an area, it will power that. And as you can see, we recently did a burst of growth there. I got to keep an eye on it though, just because the way that the upladers and the liquefiers work, it could have this huge bulk of a hive here and just drill out the exact square that laser is coming through on. So it is kind of a random, very low random chance of that actually doing that. So I'm not going to worry too much about it. If it does start growing beyond what we can handle, then I'll just sort of cut off the growth for a little while, and it should catch up. I also changed these down here to store a few more. So each one of these is 1,000. That's 1,000, and that is 2,000. So it can actually store quite a lot. And power seems to be doing great. No major issues with power depletion. I'm able to keep it up, not a problem. And it looks like this one's on its way back. So yeah, I had to increase the amount of unload stations. So I added a few bulk minecarts into there, which are faster, can hold more, and all that kind of good stuff. And it seems to be going pretty well. This line on top here is for when it's, at the times when I was feeding it, when it kind of starts running out of resin. A lot of these hoppers would have like 1 or 2 or 5, something like that, and obviously you need 10. So I just put this on top, so all of that miscellaneous stuff gets dumped into this last chest here, and that way it's all empty when it does empty out. But with this auto farming, it should never empty out, because that should just keep farming. Looks like my clocks are going well. That's good. Everything else is going pretty good. I'm still mining and processing iron over here, but I'm guessing it will soon come to an end, as we are really processing a lot of iron right now. All right. The next big project I would like to do is get a quarry setup going. Now, the basic quarry is the one that comes with the game, and it processes, it can spit out 5 items per second and does an okay job. The quarries that I added all start getting more and more fancy as you go up. So the basic quarry that I just researched gives you 10% efficiency. I believe the Mark 1 is 25%, Mark 2 is 50%, and Mark 3 is 100% efficient. And it does a huge area, 129 by 129, I believe. And by request, somebody wanted a very fast quarry, didn't care about power requirements, and capable of not spitting out garbage. They didn't want to process any garbage. So I made it extremely expensive, both in cost to build and in power requirements, but it is very handy. It also, the Mark III and the Mark IV both can mine. Both can mine tier 4 ores. So both of these can grab the chromium and molybdenum. Now, a little hint as to the buildability, how's that for a word, of the quarries. The vast majority, or the basic quarry, you have to build it on the surface. It has a limit to build on the surface. And on my quarries, the Mark 1, 2, and 3 quarry, they also have to be built on the surface. But a little known fact, the Mark 4 does not. The Mark 4 can be built down in the cold caverns. So let's see what we have to use for the quarries. Okay, so I'm going to need a basic quarry, and I know that's in this list somewhere. There it is. We need 5 sugarlight crystals and 48 composite fuels. How many sugarlights do I have? I have 4 sugarlight crystals. Okay, so in order to grab more sugarlight crystals, first let me grab the fuel while I'm up here. And let's see, where would some extra fuel be? There's 51. So let's, I need 48, so let's leave 3 behind. And figure out a place to drop these. Store 3, okay, so there's my 48. I need some more sugarlight. And let's see. We gotta go way down deep for that. So I'm gonna hop one of my teleporters, which gives me the first step. And let's see, where can we go from here? I could go to the magma borehole. That would probably help quite a bit. Now with the Mark III quarry, you also, because it processes garbage so fast, I mean, it can dig really, really fast. So I recommend building it either in a place that, you know, your frame rates aren't really stuttering, because it's puts a heavy load on the game. I think if I just start moving here, let me reset that. I just have to find a way to go down. Let's see. So this is all my geothermals back in here. Not sure where I can poke out. I know I dug down pretty far in one of these spots. Way over here. Because they were having some issues. Don't slingshot me, for crying out loud. Okay. There's some sugar light over there, but it's above. Uh-oh. All right. Score on the sugar light. Look at them all down here. Nice. Those would be magma worms trying to eat me. I don't really have any stone that I can put under here. Uh-oh. It's not good. Let me try to put something like that. Oh. Let's... Oh, the floatiness. The floatiness... Oh, did that fall? Okay, good. The floatiness of the jetpack. Okay, that's kind of annoying. Uh-oh. lots of sugar lights down here, and I am just totally lost now. Oh, magma is real. Even had some plants down in here. Did not know that. It's very, very hot, and I'd rather not. I'm just gonna swim through some lava. Look at my temperature, 1500 degrees. It's not bad. My poor suit. And now I spawned in the cold caverns, which is the exact opposite of where I was, heat-wise. But I'll let you know, since we cleared out this area over here already, I'm gonna build it right over here. Since we already have a ton of power, I'm gonna build the quarry right over here. And I have the Mark IV quarry. The options for the Mark IV quarry are pretty good. You can set up to 4 ores that it will only mine. So the Mark III, you can set 4 ores that it will skip. But the Mark IV is you can up to 4 ores that it will only mine. So that is sort of the trade-off there, is the balance to mine. So I'm going to build it back in here. And I'm going to set it up. So that's perfect height right there. Right here is just the perfect height. And I'm going to put one of my excavators down in here. And you can also customize the radius of the Mark IV quarry. I think you can, yeah, the Mark IV quarry. So you can set the radius, and I think I set mine at, I want to say 21. So I want, let's do 11, and we don't need that much height. I'm just going to go like 20. And I'm going to drop none, because I don't want to drop anything. It's going to clear garbage for now, so it's not going to take out any ores. I'm going to want to clear out the ores that are in there. But for now, we're just going to rotate this, and it should start clearing. There it goes. So we need to go back up, now that we have the sugar lights and everything, we need to go back up to the surface. Take care of some business. Let's grab these. Just restock. I should set up a little bit more there, but I don't really need to. While I was down in the sulfur, I should have grabbed the sulfur that was down there. I don't even know how much sulfur was there. Come on, lift. Oh, I wish it would move that fast when I was on it. Looks like that crystal is getting a little low already. We've used quite a lot of crystal. I mean, that was 250,000 crystal right there. But I know where there are several million more crystals, so we're not low on crystal. It's just a little bit more tedious to mine. All right, we are back on the surface, and it is daytime for a little bit longer. So I'm going to take some power so Arthur can get a little bit of charge going. We're going to look at getting the quarry. Let me grab the sugar lights that are in here. Okay, basic quarry is built. Now let's look at the Mark I quarry. We need steel cutter heads. We need 5 steel cutter heads. So let me put the crystal back. And I can grab some crystal cutter heads from my little spot here. Right there. Steel cutter heads. There's 3. Or 5. So, steel cutter head. Next, we need organic cutter head. And 5 massive faceted eyes. Well, that is a problem. That is a huge problem. Because we don't have any way of getting those massive faceted eyes. So, organic cutter head we can do. I believe organic cutter head. Right? No, maybe I didn't unlock it yet. So let's have a look-see in here. No. Those are all done. Crystal cut, organic cutter head times 5. Okay. So I need 4 pristine stingers. Well, I know where there's a lot of pristine stingers. Way over here. Okay. Pristine stingers. Organic cutter head. Good to go. I want to put those pristine stingers back. So they're not in my inventory. And as far as the massive eyes are concerned, I can do a little trickery with the the recipe to make them. Because you can make them after the fact right here, but you need 75 recombined organic matter. And I've actually used all of my recombined organic matter. I believe I have anyway. Yeah, see, I don't have any recombined organic matter. I have a little bit over here that's been sort of building up, but I only have 34. So I can go in, change that recipe so the massive eyes are only 1 organic matter, and that will allow me to build it. I had forgotten that I needed massive eyes, and I actually need more than 1 because I need exceptional lenses here. So I can change that recipe, but I also need... So I need massive eyes there. I'm going to need 5, so I'm going to need 10 total. So if I change that to cost 1 refined or recombined matter, then I'll be fine. The Mark IV Quarry is, again, pretty, like I said, it's really expensive. It costs an entire Mark V battery, and it costs 5 Mark V forced inductions, which we can pull off. We can build all of that, and I don't need, let's see, I don't need all of those cutter heads, and I'd rather not keep them around, so I need 2 only. So if I'm just going to go and macerate 3 of them. That way, I only have 2 in my inventory, and I can work on building other things. Oh, it actually dropped some stuff. Awesome. So I'm glad I have a little bit of recombined organic matter that I can use. But I don't have... I mean, for 5 of those is, what, 375? No. 75, yeah. 375. So yeah, I don't have 375 recombined organic matter. So just be aware of that. If you're going to go for a quarry later in the game, keep some organic matter close at hand. Plasma cutter head. So I'm going to need a lot of inventory space for those. But that will have to do it for this episode. I thank you for watching, and I will see you next time.